pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Roll call vote, TTC Chairperson Brock Gibson,
Here.
TTC Vice Chairperson Amanda Swint,
Here.
TTC Member Whitney Tucker, TTC Member Roseanne Ani,
Here.
TTC Member Rebecca Monia,
Here.
Board Liaison Joe Steiger,
Here.
Chamber of Commerce Representative Dina Kreitler,
Here.
St. John County Representative Corey Ford. We have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
You make
Motion.
And second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Need a motion to approve the minutes from last week?
I'll make a motion to approve. From last week, last month.
Last month? Yes. Second? Somebody? Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Financial report. Sorry. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, we're looking like we'll collect just as much as we did last year, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but we're on pace for that. And as far as things that have gone out, we just sent out the 500 Fly with the High Festival, and what is the day of celebration?
Should be
Certified.
certified.
Okay, oh, right, that makes sense. We just talked about
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, sure to fit. Okay. So nothing really gone out besides those things that we approved, the marketing grant approvals.
All right, seen a motion to approve it?
Motion to approve. A second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Public comments? Anybody? No? Old business? We want to talk about some of these?
Sure. Well, Brock, how Oktoberfest up close and personal? How did that go? from your
It's
perspective?
blurry. I remember there were booths and people and, no, it was, I think it went really well. It was interesting, because it was centrally located. You know, we didn't block any streets off. We didn't, have vendors parked in front of the businesses. So I was really curious, and I haven't actually gotten much feedback yet. And I'm looking for some feedback from folks on how the shops did during that event, because I really felt like that by being centrally located like that and taking the vendors off the streets, it opened the opportunity for people to be walking down the street and going into the shops rather than stopping at booths that are in front of the shops. Because a lot of times I don't really see very many folks going behind the booths to go in the shops when they're going up and down the streets when they're closed with the vendors in front of them. But so I was hoping, and I feel like from my perspective, it seemed like that there were people walking the streets, and you might actually know a little more. I mean, I don't know if you were there during the festival, but
Yeah, I mean, we certainly had a lot of activity at the shop, but I can't speak for the other
Yeah,
businesses,
yeah.
unfortunately.
I know we're not like down there, but it was our slowest Saturday
Yeah.
since being open.
We were pretty slow too.
Yeah.
yeah, where's the shop at? What?
Well, the center, it's on Market Street,
Oh.
and we had an event going on as
Yeah,
well.
you had an event.
But with ours and what they were doing, it was really hot for that. type
It was
of
so hot,
activity.
yeah.
So that's what we were
Yeah. Well, yeah,
thinking
so,
was the problem.
yeah, it was definitely hot, but, yeah, so I don't know, I guess I gotta get some feedback. I was curious how that went for everybody else. It was, I liked that it was centrally located, because it was, you just didn't have to go far to get to the next thing. I was thinking yesterday that it would have been, the dog races went really well, actually. They said there were more people at the dog races this year than it was last year. the Wiener Dog races, which is pretty cool.
That was behind bricks.
That was behind bricks, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I felt like it went really well.
Yeah, how do you feel? I'm just sorry not to keep this conversation going for too much longer, but I think has it changed footprints kind of every year? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
So I wonder how that impacts things.
So here's another thing about Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is not a vendors in the streets festival. It's not. It never has been. It's not traditionally. It's just not that. We probably did that just because it's a tradition of our town to have vendors in the streets. But that festival is not a vendors in the streets festival. It's a festival that is centrally located, and it's got tents, and it's got beer, and it's got games, and it's got food. And that's what they do. They eat, they drink, and they play live music. They dance. It's just a festival of fun, food, and drink and beer, really. So, I felt like that it was closest to a traditional Oktoberfest this year than it has been, because of that, that idea. I think, I don't know what we'll do next year, but we have a meeting tomorrow morning, actually, that we're going to talk about how it went and things we
what's
should
the
do
next
better and what we can do, fix little gaps or whatever that we had. But overall, though, I think it went. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and I do agree that, at least to have some festivals that don't have vendors up and down
Yeah.
every street, it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what
How
sort
that
of
plays
effect
out.
that actually has on the shops.
And really, if you think about it, we are doing this to draw business, but ultimately it's to create a cool experience for people to come enjoy an event on a weekend. Right? That's the ultimate goal. It's not to make money or not to draw people in. It's really just to give people an experience, and we draw them in because that's what we want to do, is give people a cool experience. So I think from the perspective of the actual individuals at the festival, I personally know that I would rather it be in one location, like if I was just a spectator. So I feel like that the people that were there really liked the fact that it was fairly centrally located. Even if it, I don't know how it went with the rest of town, but if it was slower, then that does stink. But ultimately, I think from the perspective of the people coming to the festival, it was definitely something they liked. I got a lot of feedback about that, actually.
We did too at our site.
You did?
Yeah, we had the, Lord, don't make me say it, the German paper cutting.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we had, I don't remember. Yeah, whatever that was. That one. But yeah, that was a lot of feedback that we had, that they liked that it was,
Central.
yeah, it was central. It had more of like a traditional kind
Yeah.
of beer garden
Yes,
feel.
right. Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly right. It felt that way. And I think, we talked about this too, about next year is maybe, talking, like going to each of the businesses downtown and talking about having a booth, but them do it, like they put their own booth outside, and the booth that's in front of the shop is theirs.
Like an open air market.
Yeah, like an open air market.
Yeah.
And all the shops come out and do that while we have the Oktoberfest down there, and then the shops are all, running their own booth.
A million degrees.
Well, this was an early Oktoberfest. It's normally in September, of course, but this week, choosing that week, there's benefits to this, though. So by choosing the week before what everybody else is doing, everybody else's Oktoberfest really starts next week, we had access to stuff that you only get access to if you're ahead of them instead of behind them, right? So like the beer vendors had all of their Oktoberfest beer. They had all of their Oktoberfest merchandise and stuff. They weren't out of anything. So we were able to get more stuff from them guys because it was a little early, but yeah, so as far as the putting the festival together and it coming together and people enjoying it, it was a huge success in my opinion.
The only question I had a lot of people coming into the shop that didn't know anything was going on downtown.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, what is that? And so I know that we had originally done the Oktoberfest approval for, funds, for advertising funds. Was there advertising that happened?
I think the wheels kind of fell off.
So we won't be giving that money out, in other words.
Probably not, no. If it is, it's going to be.
It hasn't come out of our coffers yet. So.
Yeah, and we'd already talked about that too, the Oktoberfest committee had talked about that whatever they did spend, that's what they'll request. But other than they're only going to take what they spend on advertising, which I don't think was very much. I'm not really sure.
Didn't receive anything, really.
Yeah, just Facebook. But it was that Oktoberfest committee had personnel changes right in the middle of this. things, there were some other things that came into play, paperwork issues that came into play that were unforeseen because of the change of leadership in the committee. So there were some gaps that opened up. That's really ultimately why it ended up happening in our beer garden anyhow, because there were some changes that happened that we had to get ahead of. And so with that said, all the marketing part of it was like, that was if we can get to that. Yeah, if we can get to that, like, but other than that, we're going to do it.
It came together.
Yeah, and I'd rather people, really ultimately, I'd rather people not know it was happening and it happened than it not happen and people thought it would, because people would have thought that was happening because there was some advertising about it. So somebody was going to show. Actually, matter of fact, I had a family from Utah that told me that they were coming here to visit somebody, but they planned it around Oktoberfest. They wanted to come here for the Oktoberfest. So they came that weekend. They didn't necessarily come for Oktoberfest, but they came that weekend for it. So even just them folks, I would have been really disappointed if they would have come here and it not happened. So even though they couldn't get the marketing stuff done, I think, it's still, and it still drew. I mean, I still feel like there was a good crowd there too.
Yeah, even on Sunday I drove by and people out there, so. Rally against domestic violence. I texted with Kathy Kreitler yesterday morning. She's super pumped as usual. So I know she was going to come and give the full detailed report, but it sounds like she said they had 50% more cars at the rally than they did last year, which is really big. And people are coming because of the cause, but that's really nice. She's getting a good turnout, and it sounds like the stuff that she puts on, people really enjoy. La Vie en Nouvelle France happened this weekend too at the Center for French Colonial Life. Roseanne, would you like to say anything about it?
It was really slow because of how hot it was and all of that. But all of the reenactors that were here had a good time and all of that. So
And
I wasn't here, so I don't know.
oh, well, and I spoke with Jeff. We got some really good ends with people that will be really useful for other festivals and things like that. We have the US 250 event coming up next year. That's going to be put on in conjunction with the Center for French Colonial Life, but Ronnie and Justine Rayfield are getting involved in that and helping with the planning, the national park, the state historic site. We're all getting together and trying to put together a really good event for the US 250. So a lot of those reenactors will be there for that. So
And those reenactors came from all over the place. They were
They're
from
all
over the
over
country.
Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, Wyoming, everywhere.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Farmer's Table, how did that go this time around?
It was pretty good. We served 120 people. We were sold out. It was hot, but it was nice.
It wasn't too
It
hot.
wasn't even hot. Yeah, it felt great. It was
Yeah.
great. Earlier in the day it was hot. It was probably hot for you.
It was hot for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nicer in the
Yeah.
evening. It wasn't bad.
And
Yeah.
raise some good money for
Yeah, we
4-H, huh?
gave away $25,000.
Amazing.
Yep.
It was cool. I was a guest and it was really nice. It was really nice. Yeah, great food.
Andy gave.
Andy, yeah, he did the food and it was really
Too much.
fantastic.
Yeah. I know. We're like,
It was
we
a
gotta
lot. I
cut you
wouldn't say
off
too
next
much, but it was a lot. I couldn't eat
year.
it
It was a
all.
lot. Yeah, it was good. And Gina actually had somebody contact you. Was it the day of or the day before?
No, it was the morning of, but she caught me at the license office. She drove in all the way from Kansas City for a ticket. And I said, to what? And she said, the pharmacy was, oh my gosh, we've been sold out for weeks. But she ended up staying in town the whole weekend and enjoyed Oktoberfest on Saturday and left on Sunday, left me a nice little note. So, said she loves her little town. Next year, she wants to be put on a mailing list for Farmers Day.
Facebook page.
Well, yeah, and I think that's how she's seen it, really. But she does these farm to tables. That's what she said. She was 70.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah, super sweet lady.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when I told her we were sold out, we even tried to find a ticket, for her just to try to accommodate, and it just didn't work out for us. But anyways,
Yeah, we
she
were
was-
max.
Yeah, we were.
I'm like, Gina, we don't even have extra chairs.
yeah, I would have found a chair. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I'll just read off the upcoming events. We have Rural Heritage Days coming up. The plein air, well, the plein air is not happening this year.
What do you mean it's not?
No, they had it in conjunction with the garden walk this year, so they had plein air painters in the back. But yeah, it's just.
I love the plein air.
I know it's such a sweet event, but they just don't have enough people to help with that, and they don't feel like it's being run correctly. So, or they're not getting the sort of reaction that they want. So,
From the artist.
yeah, just not a lot of artists coming in, and they don't have really the team to really keep it going. Deja Vu Spirit Reunion is coming up. Spooktacular and the Promenade des Arts.
The militia encampment is October 12th.
Oh, thank you so much.
Honey Fest is October 4th.
Oh, right.
Does the art guild need volunteers?
I would say so, yeah. Absolutely.
What was the other event that you mentioned?
The militia encampment,
Roseanne, what was that date? October what?
October 12th, I believe.
That's a Sunday.
Oh, then it's the, yeah, it's on Saturday, so then it would be the 11th.
At FCA?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Can move into the TTC grant application guidelines. And Rebecca has made a draft for us to take a look at. Thank you so much for doing that, by the way. You want to walk us through that, maybe?
Well, on the actual sort of the guidelines piece, and this, I figured we could I went and put this information into a format that was a little bit more guideline policy look to it. Maybe something that we could consider adopting if we like this for other things as well. And then started to put more of a structure to it to get us started. And I pulled in a lot of what was already in the guidelines and then highlighted some things that we probably needed to specifically talk about. And then figured, I mean, of course, nothing in here is set in stone. This is all for us to discuss because I was just trying to put as much of the existing document into this in some way, as well as adding in some of the concepts, some of the things that you had mentioned, Aaron, about the reusable, and areas to talk about. So, I would suggest that we start out with what the purpose of this is, and that's why it starts with a purpose. And so if we like that, we can keep it, we can add to it. And then have definitions. We talked a lot about definitions before. And last week, and I know we heard some folks asking about that from the businesses, what does it mean when we say advertising and marketing? We probably should think about that.
Sure.
And then get into some of the other things. But I added references in here because we really should consider what are all the forms that are associated with this. Everything that's associated with it should either be in this or in some higher level document that refers to this itself. That's my intro speech. We can walk through it if you want.
Yeah, so basically the highlights of what we're going to talk about.
For sure.
Yes.
Anything's fair game, but those things I thought for sure.
Yeah, I made a few notes, but.
Okay.
So the references, we currently have all of these, correct?
We do have all of these documents. I might have retitled something.
Yeah.
But for example, the franchise festival application, I really wasn't sure if that was required in order to have a festival to begin with.
And why does it say franchise?
I think that was just the name of the application.
I think that should definitely be renamed.
Totally. I was just trying to put stuff on here. I wasn't sure and I wanted to just pull anything that I found that
Yes.
might have something to do with being able to even get an advertising.
But to be clear, we don't have that here, right?
I did not pull that document.
Okay.
But I figured maybe someone in here did know. Do you know?
There's no
I
such
can,
thing.
I can get you a copy if you want.
Yeah,
A festival application?
franchise festival.
Franchise.
I don't know, I'll have to see what the title says.
Okay.
I got the festival.
Perfect.
If you want.
And maybe I got that title wrong too. I don't know. But I thought, okay, do people have to fill that out first?
But I think renaming them is probably good, just so it's more black and white. Like, I could see people mixing up advertising grant application with the agreement.
Yeah.
Summary,
Yep. That
or just tie that all into
Yeah,
one.
can you put into one?
This is the agreement,
Mhm.
which includes,
But I had never heard of this franchise thing either, festival application thing either. I never heard anything about that.
And maybe it doesn't have anything to do with it, but
Yeah,
I
but we
figured let's take a
Right.
look.
gotta look at it, yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
And if you like the name, again, I just put suggested names on here for references, but we could, any of that, change that. But I would say it would be beneficial to have form numbers with some of this stuff that's just simple, that maybe goes along with, like this is the tourism
Yeah.
tax. So it would be a TTC, blah, 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 whatever we have. And then the same concept could be for other city documents.
so, and then down to general, I'm just moving on here.
Yep.
Funding for advertising grants are allocated annually for a fiscal, is that true? Is that really what happens?
That's what I heard from David last time, so I wrote that.
So like every year, David, we decide how much money?
Yeah, yeah, there's a budget every year.
Well, David Woods was
David.
mentioning it last time because we ran out of money
Yeah,
and I had asked.
So when is it reallocated?
It's at the end
At
of
the,
this
at the
month.
beginning of
Or
the
October.
October.
Oh, so in October, okay,
Yeah, then, yeah.
okay.
and who is that then? She's about whom, so is that the city or is
Yeah,
that?
does the TTC do that or the city or
I
who
think,
does
I think
that?
this board does it.
October 1st.
Doesn't the board, doesn't the board do that?
Too.
Well, we don't allocate the budget. Who allocates the budget for these grants?
Do you know, David?
Or no, it comes out of our budget, so it is.
Who decides on how much money we give away every year?
TTC.
We do.
Our
We
board.
do.
So then instead of whom, we need to put TTC
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
TTC board.
Sure. I don't even think we need to put money in it.
And based on tourism taxes from the prior fiscal year,
Me neither.
which is correct, right?
Yeah.
So that is correct then, Rebecca.
Okay.
Is that is true? We do based on our percentage of what our total revenue was?
Well,
No, we don't do
doesn't say
we don't
percentage.
allocate the grants. We have the grants fixed at 7,000. So we're gonna give a total of 7,000 out.
You know,
but here,
but it just
but
says-
here
it
it's
says
saying we
are based-
allocate.
Yeah, it says are based on, and then she put in here tourism tax from the.
This is me asking
Yeah,
a question.
right.
This is,
Yeah,
I know.
No.
We're just making sure we understand.
We know you're pulling this
So saying
information.
in October, we decide how much money we're gonna give away the next year.
Yes.
So
but-
that's what
but-
this is saying.
No, this is asking how did we determine how much we are going to give for the next year? So did we do it based on the total revenue from last year, or did we do it based on how much we gave out?
I think we kind of probably picked a safe number. I mean, I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
We picked a safe number that we would.
Out of the sky.
Yeah.
Do we need to base this off of something then?
Yeah, that's
Do we
what
need to
I'm-
say a percentage? Because, or do we just say we just pulled it?
Well,
Oh, you actually put that as a
I
fixed
think it was
percentage.
based off of the event, the actual major events that were happening in town, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they like thought about it.
$2,000. That's where the 7,000 came, because they identified 7
Big,
festivals.
okay. Okay.
I mean, should we just,
That was 4 years ago.
I almost feel like we don't touch it just because that is a little bit touchy. I think we just go based on the amount given last year, you know.
for now, and I know this year we have the big $30,000 spend on welcome and wayfinding from, that's going to be a matching grant from the state. So I'd like to go through that fiscal year and use that and see, what happens afterwards. I know we're going to be just
Well-
perfect, but you know what I mean?
so
you know,
we can probably just leave this based on tourism taxes from prior fiscal year.
Yeah, it's TTC tax revenue.
Or maybe, based on the
everything, we
amount
could just say
given from.
tourism taxes.
Yeah.
Collected.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, and it's set annually. I mean, which is
Yeah,
fine.
just, yeah.
Uh,
And I think once we get to the point of like how do we adjust
Yeah.
that? We can adjust it based on the percentage of increase in revenue, right? So if it's
Yeah.
7,000 and we increase in revenue by 10%, then we increase it to 77.
It's probably something we should figure out at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think following the tax revenue increases is a good idea, but we'll figure that out.
Okay. Will be reimbursed post-event for actual expenses as. I mean, that sounds good, right?
Well,
This is saying they'll be reimbursed
yeah, this is reimbursed rather than.
post-event actual expenses.
Yeah, so that's the thing that a lot of people ask that, like, can we get the money up front or do we have to wait until we've spent the money already? Because some of them don't do it if they know that they have to pay the money first and then get reimbursed. That's always a question. I get.
But I mean, who puts on an event without knowing they have to spend some kind of money on advertising?
Oh, I know, I'm just telling you,
Well, I
I'm just
think-
telling you the questions I get.
And I think what this grant has done and unintendedly
Yes.
has made it a vector for people to go, I'm going to put on an event because I can get money for that event. So there's, that's.
Yeah, so the
focus is the reimbursement makes more
I
sense.
think it does make more
Well,
sense.
it makes
yeah.
more sense, because if we give it ahead of time and then they have to give us
Yeah,
money
right,
back.
definitely makes
it's-
more sense.
Yeah.
If we
This
have.
makes
given-
people
Okay.
accountable.
Yeah, that's good.
What's our turnaround time on issuing the funds after they submit the paperwork?
It just depends. They have things that they have to, turn in, but we could cut them a check.
Depends on how fast they turn in their forms and I get signatures.
Yeah, that's it. Because there is a certain amount of stuff they have to do before getting the funds anyway.
And that's-
And sometimes they don't turn that in time, or not in time, but they just don't turn it in. The Vet committee was, kind of doing, they're like, what do I need to turn in to get this done? So that sort of thing. So people.
Okay, so that's further
Scramble
down.
with it.
Let's keep moving on this.
Yeah.
That's an up to. Okay.
Does the applicant company need to be in St. Genevieve County or city?
That was just me asking.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Is it,
Wait, the actual person holding it or where it's being held?
no, it should be held here.
I know
Whoever
what
the
I'm
checks,
saying
whoever the
is,
checks get.
This is the
Does the
eligibility, the applicant.
does the
must.
applicant, say somebody lives in Festus and they want to hold an event in St.
The
Genevieve.
bike race,
Yeah,
But
that's-
I was gonna say the bike race is a.
trail,
So then this needs to be no.
But is TrailNet coming and getting advertising grant
they
funds?
have.
They have, yeah.
So you don't have to be a St. Genevieve company or business to get advertising grant funds from.
We
The
have-
event has to be held.
So the reason.
That's the question.
Yeah, no, so the reason that this got sticky with the bike race was because their revenue is generated off of, not off of spectators, right? It's generated off of the people signing up for the
Yeah.
bike ride. So when we were looking at that grant application, the question was, is this right? Because if they are using these funds to advertise riders, right? The ones that pay money to be in the bike race, that's different than if they're using it to advertise an event in St. Genevieve that spectators can come see the event, right? So this got really sticky because it was like, we don't want to give, especially somebody from outside of the county, tax revenue for them to sell spots in a bike race. You see what I mean?
And it's got to be free and open to the public.
It has to be free and open to the public, but a bike race is free and open to the public, but
go watch.
but it's also a bike race, so now if it's an event and there's like booths and because these guys had games, they had a kids thing, and it wasn't just a bike race, so there was more stuff to it, and so it was a little different from that perspective, but that's where it gets a little sticky with people coming from outside, because when you're coming from outside the county, you're not as invested in the success for the community as you are the success of the event. And when you do that, you are, it's unlikely for this to be free for everybody, right? It's unlikely that it's going to be free, because it would have to be something that they are paying to put an event on that costs nothing, So the bike race one becomes a little interesting because they have bikers that pay for that to be there. But, the other one would be vendors, right? Vendors sometimes pay for their vendor spot for some of these festivals. So there's revenue generated there. If we gave them marketing funds and the marketing funds went to them trying to find more vendors, that would be a little different than marketing to the people who are for this free event for the community to come in and enjoy the experience, Because it's not supposed to be, I feel like it's not supposed to be for a revenue generating purpose, right? It's supposed to be for free. That's why we have the questions,
Yeah.
is this free?
And on the bike race, so we did take that out of general. revenue,
Yeah.
not out of
Yeah.
GTC.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
decided that was a good,
So the question is ultimately to what you're asking is, do we offer this to people outside the county? I don't know a situation where somebody outside of the county would even be approved because they would be wanting to make some sort of revenue off of it because they wouldn't be as invested in. the
My only
community.
concern is like, say like somebody, let's just say I moved to Festus and I still want to have, I run Jerdafet. I still want to do Jerdafet. I live in Festus, so I.
Yeah, but you're not the person behind it.
But what if I
Jerdafet.
was? That's what I'm saying. What if I was?
Well, the Jerdafet group would have to be,
They're their own corporation, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't really work, but I know what you're saying.
What
but-
if a balloon galore wanted to come in here from out of town
Yeah.
and do an event?
But how, are they really gonna even know
That's-
there's this, we have this?
I don't know.
they
But I
wouldn't
mean,
even
like,
know that.
I think we should just.
Probably not.
I
But
think
but
this should
even
be
that, why would
addressed
they-
though, because
Why
what,
would they do that without making money?
I
Yeah.
think they would. I think they would be at they would at least want to break even.
Yeah, they would have to generate revenue somehow through an event like that.
And they would be charging probably.
Right, then it's not free anymore.
What's that?
The
Now it's not free.
well, the
The
event,
event is free for people to come to.
yeah.
They would be charging the balloonists to enter.
Correct.
Yeah, see, that's where it gets.
But if they, they would have to
No
show
different
us,
with Jerdafet having vendors come and they have to pay
Yeah.
for their spots,
Yeah,
right?
but if it's local, we're talking about this being out of town or local. So
Right.
that's why I think,
But,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
yeah, no,
I think it needs to be like
No,
the
I was
event
listening, just asking
should be
questions. I thought it was, we should.
held in St. Genevieve County.
Definitely has to be held here. But
I don't think the applicant of where they live is relevant. In my
yeah,
opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it probably doesn't matter either way because I don't think there's going to be very many situations where we have that happen.
No,
Yeah.
right, so
Okay,
we can say
so-
no on that one.
And we get to make the choice, you know? I mean,
Yeah, true.
You guys be like, Amanda, I told you this was gonna happen.
Here they come.
it did sort of with that bike race. That was pretty much this exact situation. It was like, what are we doing here? This is kind of them being outside the county did come up.
But I think.
I think that was also more of an argument of like people like me saying, we had a booth there and we made nothing because your people left on bikes and they were saying, but we have this and this and this for people to do.
Yeah, I think it came down
I
to
think it's
like,
just like they hoped for all this
Yeah.
stuff to happen and it just never did.
well, and another stipulation though might be like, what is the advertisement that you're putting out? If they're, like you
Yeah.
said, if they're using our
Yeah.
money to put advertisements to get people to come
Right,
race.
bikes. That's
Yeah.
not.
To make money,
Yeah.
that's not, if they're like, if they were gonna use it to say, hey, come watch this bike race, it's really cool.
Right, yeah.
That'd be
That
cool.
was
I
the
mean-
stipulation, remember? That's what we ended up
Yes.
saying. We
Yeah.
said this the advertising that we put this to could not be to gather bikers.
Well, that's exactly it, and I think that was fine, we made that
Yeah.
decision pretty
Yeah,
handily, so.
So we just need to put, let's see. So it's already down here, located in St. Genevieve County, city or county, okay.
Wait, where's that?
It's right below that.
I think I missed this already.
We're still under eligibility.
Right below the highlight.
Third bullet.
Third page.
I was just gonna say, we need to put in there that it needs to be held in St. Genevieve County, but it's
Oh,
right.
I see. Oh, okay, I see.
Submit a completed advertising grant application a minimum of 60 days prior to the event.
That's,
I think that's a great idea,
that's
just
fair.
because I think,
If you're
Doing that
gonna
with-
advertise it properly and
should
spend that
be-
money properly.
You're
you
already
need
doing
at least that much time.
You're
if not
already,
more.
yeah,
do we
you're
think
already
it
doing
needs
it.
to be 90 days?
No.
No.
no, because then
I
because
think it
some,
should be 30, but
Yeah, I think 30. I would think 32. I think 60 kills.
I mean, they'll submit it sooner anyway. If they're on, but I mean,
And they only get the reimbursement after anyhow, so it's not like,
But again,
correction,
for
most people
advertising,
get it sooner.
people, to get his advertising out properly.
yeah, that's what, I mean.
oh, that's a good point. Really good point, actually.
Yeah, 'cause like
really
you-
good point.
You're doing it within 30
talking
days.
about some of these groups don't have paid staff members, right?
Yeah.
They're volunteers. So, I mean, to
What?
be fair,
No way.
yeah.
How about none of them?
I think 60 days is more than enough, and I would even say 30 would be,
Yeah. I think to their point though, that if you do it 30 days, how much time do you really have to market it at this point? Now you're like, are you really?
And I understand you're
gonna
doing
make
it
an
as a
impact?
reimbursement, but I think this sets a standard like, hey, you gotta have your ducks in a row, like, we don't wanna just.
Yeah.
Hey, and start thinking about advertising before 30 days.
Yeah, that's
before
right.
your event.
they very well could be. This is just when they have, because they're paying for all this up front. right? They're getting reimbursed after.
Oh, that's good.
So they're
Then 60
submitting the
days is fine.
application.
Well, but there's another piece that we're gonna have to talk about because Aaron brought up a comment that he said, do we want to consider having them run some of their advertising through the tourism board? I don't know or not, but it's a conversation that we should
I thought
have.
about that just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, or just having some sort of step-by-step, like, here's what you're gonna do, like having that sort of teaching moment.
I don't agree on that, but we can
Yeah,
talk about
there's,
that.
yeah,
when we get to that.
that's a touchy one. Yeah.
Or is it an offer if they would like it for help?
Who's gonna do that though?
You know, I don't,
Yeah,
That's what I'm
there's,
saying.
people
I just,
that could use it.
there is a lot, but I think people should learn from their own mistakes, advertising mistakes.
Yeah, but we don't want to throw money out the window. either.
Yeah.
Right.
They're paying, they're putting
And
the
then
money
we'll
up.
reimburse it, but
I
then
know,
we'll
but-
reimburse it. So I mean,
Yeah,
we're
we-
wasting the money.
we should probably make sure there's some level of quality in the.
Well, and have guidelines as to how the money is spent. I think it was Aaron kind of said, I mean, I don't think any of us have the time to check everybody's flyer and everybody's Facebook post. That's micromanaging their event.
Yeah.
But we should have some sort of guidelines as to,
I
because
mean, the
we
state
want
does it
this
with us.
to bring, like Brock said, we're trying to bring people into town. You know,
That's not
like
different.
hanging the
How's it
banner over 4th Street at $200, that's local people seeing that. That's not bringing people in from out of town. I don't think we should be paying for banners over 4th Street. First of all, when you drive by, if I stop to read that, there's gonna be an accident. But, you know, that's local people seeing that every time they're taking their kids to school or coming in to have dinner. We want the outside people to come in, so that's not doing us any good.
Yeah, didn't
So
we
that's
have
the
like a
kind of
50-mile
thing.
requirement that they had
I
to
don't
be
know,
advertising?
maybe we'll get to that
The,
in here, but.
the other thing
didn't, but-
the other thing we talked about too when we were on that trip was about when they come to get the money and they bring the receipts and we see, you know, we really should be tracking that information. That getting that information becomes very valuable. We can look at, okay, how did this event do and where did they spend their marketing funds, and how did this event do and where did they spend their marketing funds? How far in advance did they get their money, or how far in advance did they put the application? And we can look at all these different trends and analyze like what's actually working for, and I think we got to get there before we can get to the point of like deciding what is most valuable.
I disagree with that because who's gonna be analyzing all that data? You know what I mean? It's like, you're getting things from all over the place. So if they're, you know, well, I put an ad in this thing over here, and a lot of stuff like print advertising, that data is not available. You know what I mean? So if we did want data from this, you know, funneling people into digital advertising makes the most sense
Yeah.
in that you're going to get some sort of
Bigger bang for
track.
your buck.
Yeah, and you can like say, hey, this is how you know, if you're going to do it on Facebook, do this. Here's how you get that data and present that to us, you know? And so yeah, so I think there's,
I think, you know, there are certain events we have in town, like that car show that that gentleman does. That car show, or the Ford event. He does whatever he's doing for marketing, he's doing a good job. He's getting that out there, and a lot of people are
Sure.
seeing that. So I'd be interested to see what he spends that money on. You know, what is he actually using that money for marketing on? Because we could get some, you know, maybe there's a marketing company that he uses that we could, you know, tap into or something, you know. That information will be very valuable. I feel.
How long do we retain the information they give us?
what's up?
How long do we retain the information when they turn in their receipts, the application, all of it? How long do we hold on to that packet?
We still have it, don't we, Dave?
Yeah.
Say, I don't know if it ever goes away.
I've got everything that hit my desk, as far as like receipts, what they spent the money on for my own project I got going on. I don't have everything that's been turned in throughout the program because a lot of that went to Happy and I didn't get to see that stuff. But anything that I saw that I gave to you guys, I copied just for reference.
So we don't have like a standardized, this is how long we retain these records for 90 days, 18 months,
I got
whatever.
pictures of people's cell phones, I got minutes, I mean, I've got it in every form you could think of.
Okay.
I wrote that down as a note though on the bottom. I think you put something like a record retention, like just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just like
Okay, we need to get past the 60 days or not.
It needs to be,
Oh, 60 is good. We'll just,
I think I
it
think
needs
it
to
needs to say
be
6.
prior to the event,
Yeah.
not before our meeting.
Yeah.
Prior to, yeah, it says the,
Yeah.
it says the.
Yeah, it says prior to the
Prior
event.
to event, okay.
Are there any other things that we think that for eligibility, just for someone to be considered that should be added to this? Or do we, and,
A legal entity. Explain that to me.
well, it was in the last one, I just made the words a little clearer.
I know, but you still need to explain it because I don't know what
It's
that's.
up in,
It's in the definition.
Oh, wait, let me look. Okay, so, okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna do
Oh, I see.
It was in the original.
Okay.
Remember, we had that question also
Yes.
from the ladies the last time saying, well, I'm a sole proprietor, blah, 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 does that count?
Okay, yes. Maybe we should put
And, yeah.
fee definition.
Well, they should read those first.
I agree.
It's only
We
so
did
much we can do.
skip that. Yeah, we skipped that.
I read it this whole thing before I came.
So was number 3 on there already?
Yes,
The third
it
one? I
was.
like that.
Okay, packets are available at the city's website with the website
So this is
and a
me,
hyperlink.
this is me saying this needs to be added.
Yeah, okay, so add the website and a hyperlink. Or at City Hall.
We're under the process, page 2,
Oh.
pre-event. So David, you're the one who receives these, I think, is that right?
Right.
So I wasn't sure, because on the current guidelines, it says, or you can drop them off at City Hall, but I wasn't sure if there's a specific place that we need to direct them to, if they're bringing them to City Hall.
Just walk in the front door and take a right.
City Hall in general, we can just leave.
Oh, yeah, my coworkers can take it too.
So if they want to pick up a packet, they can go to City Hall.
Yeah, just drop up.
Yeah.
Just
right in
ask,
front.
okay.
Is somebody taking all these notes?
I know.
Okay.
There's
I'm
not
like,
much.
I'm writing something.
Yeah, well, I'm just writing down what we need to. Submit completed application via email or City Hall. Okay, so we'll need an email address. Do you have like a generic email address?
It's not,
It-
no, it's the web address for City
It-
Hall. And we would want to hyperlink it in here.
No, I'm down to completed form.
Okay.
Do you have a generic email?
Well, I did put it, I found it, it's on here. I did add it to the
Okay.
application. And I wanted to make sure though, however, do we want them, they do need to come to you. There isn't like a generic email address for City Hall that would be reviewed for these applications.
No, our emails have specific names on them that go to specific individuals. There's no,
No
Sorry,
generic.
we can all go and
To me-
access that.
I just don't like that,
Put in a
this kind
name?
of thing,
Put in a
because
name on it?
I don't
Yeah.
like putting names on things only because if people change positions and
Yeah.
we had,
Oh, yeah.
it's really tough to remember to update all of your documentation. So if we had
Like an info.
an info at,
Have an info?
or something like that other people have access to, that you would have access to, we could
Like if
create
you're going
that
on
email.
vacation, then this info email gets.
I mean, it can
yeah.
even go to like the same person, one person. It could be an email that's just a.
Yeah.
We do have a tourism at St. Genevieve.
There you go.
Gov.
There you go. That's it.
Is that a mailbox that
Everyone.
David would have access to?
I have access to it. I can give him access to that.
Yeah,
What do you
it just
think?
would need to be monitored to make sure, as long as it's able to be monitored for the right people. That's fine, but I do
Daily.
think that we should
Yeah,
have that in
well,
here. And
my
then I could
ladies at
change
the-
it on this application too.
The ladies at the Welcome Center see that every day, so they could just, see it, send it to me, but I also have access and I check that email.
But it's
as well.
called tourism.
Tourism at stgenevieve.gov.
No period in St. Genevieve.
No period, right? Correct?
Would we be okay with that?
I think that's good.
I think it's good.
Okay, so I will also make that change on this application form that we'll get to. Okay. We'll get rid of the where to whom on that same number 2.
Complete and or provide following documents prior to the event. So we can put the same,
Where are you at now?
number 4. So we'll put the same email or City Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obtain, provide proof.
We need to put some music on here or something.
Insurance, what does this mean at what levels?
That was something that I found in the documentation. So I figured, okay, we need to talk about it.
So like $1 million coverage, is that what you, like, do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, but I
Okay,
don't
so
know
we
what
need-
it's been.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
But
what,
it
at what
says
level.
at levels acceptable, it specifically says that you have to have insurance with limits acceptable. So what are they? I don't know.
Yeah, what is an acceptable limit? What is a normal event insurance? $1 million?
Sure.
So we should probably,
That's-
at minimum, $1 million coverage.
I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we probably need to state on there with, do they do like, how do you, what am I trying to say? Where you put like an additional insured?
A rider.
Is the city additional insured on all those?
They're supposed to be, right?
I mean, it depends on where it's at.
Like if it's held in the city, the city should be.
Not in the city, but like in a city street, absolutely. On city property, absolutely, but beyond that.
So only.
Maybe over here.
So we should probably put that on there then with St. Genevieve City as a additional insured if held on streets or property.
City property.
Sure.
Hang on a second, he's gonna get me a new page sheet because mine
And
is,
that's part of the
mine is pretty
festival
updated.
application.
My copy. I didn't get a page two when he was handing them out.
Okay. And then provide a completed W-9 form. We should probably include a W-9.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that. It can be as one of the reference documents.
I think that definitely needs to be on. Sure.
Yeah. Placeholder.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Like the promotional material, like require submission of promotional material to them?
This was just one of the things, remember
Oh, yeah.
Aaron had suggested, this was me just putting this as a
Yeah,
talking point
yeah.
because he suggested it, so I wanted to gather all of the things that he already
Yeah.
had suggested.
So what is this suggestion though? Is this to have them,
Require submission of
Yeah.
promotional
Review
material.
of this, we would call it review of their plan.
Here's my thought on this. I mean, I already said my thoughts, but also if they have this 60 days before their event, all their stuff's already done. There's no reason we have to look at it and approve anything because it's already done.
yeah, that's true. It might be too close.
Well, I think this was to make sure that they weren't considering t-shirts, et cetera, as promotional materials.
Which they should have read the definitions.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we should probably put that in the definitions. Does not include t-shirts.
Isn't that somewhere? Is that somewhere that,
I thought
I
it
think we
was,
should
but-
say what is included. If we want to expressly exclude some things, we can as
Yeah.
well, but I didn't add it as an item in there that would be considered an adverse. Thank you, Aaron. Um,
I was just, Aaron, you were in there talking about, I was just saying the submission of promotional material. I mean, if they're doing this 60 days before their event, this is already done.
Yeah, sure. No, and I don't mind. One less thing I have to do. I just.
Yeah,
thought
and I was like, you don't have time for that.
No, I don't, really
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, but it could be submitted to us, to the PTC board, so that we see what they're doing. I don't feel comfortable at all approving funds for this project. And it's gonna look a bad reflection on us. If they have a bad marketing plan, if we're just gonna bless them without even looking or reviewing at their plan. And
I
it's a
agree, but
dismal
you also
failure.
said 30 days and now but I mean, you were okay approving somebody's marketing material 30 days before their event?
well,
No, we went with
Well,
the
I think he was saying if they were already.
done it anyhow, so.
They're already paying for it.
Oh, I'm
They've already
okay
into their
seeing,
marketing
I'm okay
plan.
seeing what they did. Maybe we'd be like, hey, maybe next year you should kind of think about doing
Well,
this.
then maybe when they come up, they should, like, if they already have
Give
a,
us copies.
give us copies of what
Yeah.
they're running, and then it'll help us make an educated decision on like, is this
And
worth
talk
it?
to
Yeah,
them about
you mean
it.
we submit it with the application?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We can add that as a requested.
And also
Yeah.
if they're like willing.
If you plan on, and this is only promotional material that's actual material, like you're talking about sock caps or like shirts or
No,
something.
like printed material,
Oh,
printed
even
ad.
printed
This is
material?
like ad, promotional material. That's.
Why would we
What,
want to look at
what
their?
do you mean by promotional material?
No, yeah, like
Those ads and
like
stuff?
their ads,
They're
yeah.
flyers.
So we need to say
Yeah.
marketing material.
Reimburse.
Yeah, their marketing material.
That is true.
And then, banners and t-shirts, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking banners and t-shirts and stuff. I wasn't thinking,
No, I thought-
when I was thinking promotional material, I was thinking
Hats. and-
like hats and t-shirts and promotional material. I wasn't thinking their marketing strategy, like how they build their,
So we need to change it to marketing material, marketing
Or
material.
even marketing plan or
Plan.
strategy. is-
Material / plan. Yeah, because also if somebody comes
Where are you
at,
putting that at? Where are you putting-
instead of the placeholder requires submission of marketing material / plan to tourism,
I think just to the board, not
To-
to us, to TTC,
yeah.
to us.
Yeah,
To the board with the application?
yes.
Yes.
I think that's
Okay, with your application. How about just with?
Yeah.
we're gonna probably have to be flexible with that one a little bit. just
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
Would it,
If they have it, it could be a,
if they have it.
proposal of a marketing plan?
Yeah, and like Joe said, if it's terrible, then we're all gonna be like, okay, well, you need to do this, this would be better, this would be better.
Which we've done, I mean, just in
Yes.
dialogue with
Right.
people before.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody putting on a festival, I would think, where they've got 6, 7, 8 people here that have done 100 events, wouldn't mind good feedback from.
Right.
Exactly.
This board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially it's our reputation when they
Yes.
fail.
Right.
Well, yeah, because if they fail, they're not gonna get it again.
Okay, TTC board /
so
administrator.
these are the process and requirements. So this was all for the applicant prior to the event. Now, what is our responsibilities or the TTC board or admin, I don't know. is
I
it
think this /
administrator?
administrator should be taken out completely. don't
Well, I only wrote that in there as
Oh,
a
okay.
question because I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Is this the board or is it someone else that needs to be doing this stuff?
you? Needs to be what?
The stuff that's underneath.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
we're the ones that review and vote on
Yeah,
it. Or is there more
The
than?
first one doesn't need an
Yeah.
administrator.
Yeah, but number 2 might need an administrator.
Yeah.
Okay, so that,
Number 2 could be, probably would be Dave's role to.
Yeah, sure.
And he prepares and signs. Oh, well, I guess he prepares and we sign.
I would think the administrator in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
because they don't care, it's, we know who it would be. It's not the
Yeah.
applicants won't mind, as long as we know.
They just want the money.
And they say we don't need an administrator in there?
I think we're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause some of these are definitely.
Within 30 days of application approval. Or, sorry, I don't know why I said 30 days, my bad. I don't care how many days. What do you think's fair, David?
But we probably, in fairness, need to look at that agreement first before we, I mean, I think we could still leave this as a placeholder because maybe we do and maybe we don't need an agreement, I don't know. Or maybe the agreement just becomes part of this, but
I think we blend them together.
Where is this agreement? I'm sorry. Let me see.
I did not.
Well, there's
do
the
that one.
application and the
Yeah.
agreement.
So this is part of the advertising grant agreement is when we grant them the money, then they come to you and they have a prepared advertising grant agreement that they sign so that they can get the money, or is that?
I think they
As soon as this thing gets approved, I have you sign it before you leave the building. And then I email them, say, congratulations, you got your tub. I got a W-9 for you. And then all the paperwork you guys are talking about, they pick it up. I got a checklist. Once I get the stuff from him, I put it on Happy's desk. He signs it, and then I take it to the treasurer, and the treasurer cuts a check, which we do twice a month on the 15th and the 30th.
Okay.
Which is basically what this,
I got your money.
which basically this is what this is outlining right here, these 1, 2, 3. It
So
seems
is the
like-
agreement signed by the requester? Is it signed by them? Are they
Or
submitting
is
it
it
with the
signed by,
application?
is this the one that?
Oh, we're signed by,
You sign it, the administrator signs it,
Yeah.
they sign it. So it could be like 3 signatures on that.
So it
But
really
does
doesn't
the-
need to be it's not an agreement then, right? It's basically, here's your money.
No, it is. It's saying, there's some specific things that it says that they have to do in here.
But that's signed
But
when
we're
they submit
changing
the
that, though.
application.
That's why, yeah.
No, it's
So we're
not the
changing the
agreement.
way this works, so they get
No, I'm
all
talking
their
about
money at the
the
end. It's not
person
really an
submitting
agreement, it's
that
here's
they
your
sign
money.
it when they are submitting it.
That's the applicant.
You know what I mean?
The applicant
Oh,
and
yeah.
the, and the,
But they're agreeing to do some things.
But they shouldn't have to do anything once they get their money because it's done.
when else would they
But
sign
this
it?
is prior to them getting their money. The agreement is signed
It-
prior to them getting their money.
The agreement should be signed by the requester at the moment they're submitting the application. They should,
No,
they
No,
can't
because we haven't granted them.
well, we haven't signed it yet.
We're not
No, they
granting them
sign it.
money until their thing's done.
Yeah, right,
Well, no,
and we don't sign
but
it yet.
this is, what this is saying is it's laying down all the different operational things that.
I agree. I'm just saying, what they're gonna sign at the end when they get their check is not an agreement.
No, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
The agreement.
What she's saying, the agreement is them saying, I agree that I'm going to do these things
Gotcha.
for
Okay,
the
I
marketing
see.
piece,
Right.
for this
And
advertising.
why can't they be submitted with the application?
Because they haven't even been, the way that it's done right now is we'd have to approve their application and then they.
They have to
do
come
the
back and sign
agreement.
it?
They don't have to come back here. Not the way I read it,
Well, they have to sign it at some point, right?
right? But it's the second piece.
Phase
ahead.
1, we do we review the application, and the signatures on that are
Yep.
our chairperson and the administrator. So that's the only 2 signatures on
Okay.
the application.
Correct.
Once it's approved and I give them the checklist and they start going down, then there's the agreement, which has their signature and the administrator's signature.
Okay.
And this is like the contract where they agree to
Gotcha.
come do the
After it's
action report or whatever we call it now.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say here, like, we really can't have that anymore. For one, the checklist is not gonna be there, because the checklist is what they have to do for the application, right?
We should incorporate part of that into, yeah, I haven't seen that checklist.
And then, I'm just like trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm just
yeah.
saying, like,
Well,
what you
to
have and
simplify
what you're talking about, the agreement and the checklist won't be there anymore, because basically everything's done ahead of time.
Well, I think we need to look at that agreement. Maybe it's not gonna
Yeah,
be in
there-
this meeting. That's why I'm saying, let's just hold on this one
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
I think we can come back to it.
Yep.
I can bring in and even, I've already started noodling on this one. I just didn't bring it. I felt like it was too much, but,
Yeah, this one, we're gonna hold that.
can we just hold on this
Yes.
one? Okay.
And just because we need to review the agreement.
And then that'll determine what we
Yeah.
want to do with it.
Okay, so post event.
Yeah, but I was also not sure right now. Is it the city administrator? Who is reviewing that advertising grant application and signing the city administrator authorized?
Yeah, that's city administrator. Happy. Well, David now, I guess.
Okay, so that's it.
This
So,
Dave. This Dave.
Oh, yeah, shoot, that's.
okay, well, we can leave it as city administrator, right? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. There you go. You have them on here. Here we go. Okay, post event. Now we're after the event.
That was good.
Yeah.
So the email and city hall.
One is.
We got that, no
Same.
problem.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't think they need to get on the schedule. I think they can just go during the public comments.
Mm,
You want to put them on the schedule?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, let's start with number one. Are we okay within 30 days after the event? Is that an appropriate time frame for them to submit the form that, with their receipts for all
I
of
think
this
that's
stuff?
plenty of
They're
time.
gonna want to score up.
I would.
Yeah, they're not, yeah, we're not gonna put it that limit on that one. But yeah, they'll be here the next day, probably. But yes, I think that's a good idea. Like 30 days.
Okay. So if they're
You know-
gonna get on the schedule, how do they get on the schedule?
Actually, I think they get on the schedule just because they had an event.
Yeah, I don't think
You know?
they need to call. I
I
think they
don't-
need
I
to
think
be
they're
put
just
on
on
the
it.
schedule.
Yeah,
because
Yeah, they're
that
already,
They will be put
Makes
on.
them
Yeah.
feel like they need to be here, and then when they're sitting out there, they can look at the agenda and see when they need, know they're
It
gonna.
So maybe
should
I
say
can put on
attend
there,
It should say
attend.
attend the next.
yeah.
Well,
and then put on there, they're held every,
Every
Yeah.
third Tuesday.
what we probably should say is that we attend an upcoming tourism tax and be prepared to discuss.
Yeah.
Attend
You,
next.
The next.
Attend the next.
but they might not be put on the next, what if they're not put on it? Because I think it's gonna be,
Well, yeah, what if their event was Sunday and we're meeting today?
That's fine. We can do that. They can come the next.
They could
they
ask
might
for
not even have their
They
stuff
could
put
ask for,
together
they could
yet,
ask for
right?
extension.
Yeah.
I would just say they should, once they submit their application or their forms, then you can put them, David, is that you? Do you
Yeah,
put them
he
on the
does the
schedule?
agenda. He does the agenda.
like if somebody turns in all their application stuff at the end of their event, blah, 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 gives you receipts, you can be like, you're on the next meeting.
Yeah, can you just send them an email or whatever you do to get them, and we can put in here then
Yeah.
that day, that
On an upcoming.
that you will be invited to
Yeah.
this next one. It's part of the requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, required, yeah.
Upon submittal of your,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
yeah, sure.
If they're gonna be required to attend a meeting, which is good, can that be added to the eligibility?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah, you have to be available and able to attend.
So, got it.
I didn't know if it was eligibility to get the grant or
Mhm.
eligibility to get the payment or both.
This was just to be
That's-
considered
this
for
is
the, to be
after.
considered.
Yeah.
But in order to get it,
But that
they've got
also-
to come.
Addresses the issue of if somebody from out of town does it,
Yeah,
well,
they're
they
gonna
have to
go,
be
I gotta
invested enough to be able
Yeah.
to be here
Yeah, that's true.
pre and post.
That is true.
Thank
So
you.
did we have it on free? Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Attend the schedule.
That's not too much to ask.
No, it's
No.
not.
But I don't think that we need to put it in eligibility because they can't get their money until they come.
Yeah,
They're only being, this is only eligibility for the grant
yeah.
to be considered.
Are you?
For the
eligible?
grant.
Right.
You still have to.
Not requirements, but eligibility, yeah, right, okay.
Is there anything else that we need the applicant to do? I put just TBDs underneath there as, okay, is there something that they need to come prepared with?
Should we put on there like, examples of advertising?
After action report and examples of.
Well, we probably need to look at the advertising, some grant summary as well. That'll be a form that we have to look at. But,
Example of advertising.
Thank you for doing this, Rebecca. It was really
Yeah,
great.
thank you so much.
It's great.
Yeah, I started an email response and I was like, this is a lot. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna wait.
it is a lot, and when you start going through it and you're like, oh shit, there's this form,
Yeah, I
and there's
just feel like
that
you need to
form, and
talk
there's
it out.
this. Yeah, just go through it. It can be
you did a
addressed
Great job. This is
Yeah.
and
crazy.
updated.
And then David, you said they write checks how many times?
On the 15th and the 30th.
Okay.
So if we say like 30 days after they turn in, that's enough? Or
I think what she's got is great.
Within XX days?
Well, I think what she has is, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that works.
Contact the applicant to provide instructions on when and where to collect the grant check. I mean,
I know, but we
That's good enough.
need to put how many days?
oh, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know
that's-
that makes sense to put in there. I just.
I would say within 30 days. That means if we just missed the 15-day mark, we can catch the 30-day mark.
See, I didn't mean leave it two X's.
Maybe the other thing that we need to think about on this is, it's 30 days, fine, that's good. Is it receipt of complete paperwork and
Right.
Attendance
attendance of
meeting.
the meeting, something like that?
Yeah.
I think
And,
that's good.
yeah, and We gotta call that something like the review, like the, what
We
did you
can call
call
it
it?
whatever you-
Did you call it something? Did you name it something? Like the post-event,
Attend,
attend post-event review. TTC board review, board meeting review, TTC, yeah.
I don't know what to call it. I'm stumped here.
Yeah, well, I think
But I think.
just the
put
post-event
receipt-
review. I think
receipt
post-event review
of
is fine.
complete paperwork and attendance of post-event review.
Yeah, whichever comes last.
Yeah, that's fine. I got it, that's
Yeah.
good. On that one though, who is that, I'm assuming, David, I'm giving you more work. Is this you that does this, reviews and confirms all the documentation required for the disbursement? The approved application, the signed grant agreement, the insurance paperwork, the W-9, the summary, and the receipts? Would that be you?
Yep.
Awesome.
David, I don't know what we pay you, but I don't think it's enough.
I was gonna say, if this is too much, please tell us.
Thank you.
Forget something.
Thank you.
I think the
Perfect.
names are all different, but
That's fine. We can always fix a name.
In a couple months, if it's for a phone.
Okay. So that's the city admin, no, it's not city administrator. What is your, the title?
What's that?
Administrative assistant.
Who's that? David?
David. Not that David.
Yeah, the other David.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's administrative assistant.
That's the only thing, when you're giving out responsibilities here, it's,
TTC secretary.
is that,
Yeah, he's basically our secretary, right?
okay.
He is.
What's your official
Say
title?
secretary anymore?
run clerk / administrative assistant.
There you go.
Administrative assistant, okay.
That one sounds better.
Okay. We got through it.
Woohoo.
We have some actions to do on it. I'll clean this up if you're okay with it, I don't mind.
Oh,
And I'll try to, and I'll
Don't mind at all.
You want to email it again and then I'll.
Thank you
Yes.
for doing that. That's really good.
No
Yes.
worries.
We want to look at the application.
Yeah.
Okay,
Looks pretty good, but
this
Did
app,
you clean this up?
I made this.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No,
Yeah.
I made
No, I've
it,
got one.
I put this into a PDF, so this is a
Fillable.
fillable form now,
Ooh,
but I took the most of the information from the existing form and I tried to put it into here, but, so any of this is changeable, however we think that it needs to be changeable, I just tried to put it into a fillable form.
Yeah. This looks so much more official. You have a little TTC form of. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful,
So, there you go.
beautiful.
Look, I even put,
Reviewed
the
on
form
that.
at the bottom and the rev number.
That's,
and the
yeah,
date.
that's the thing. That's great.
Trying to make us all official.
This is great.
Oh, I put this address wrong up here.
Is there anything that this is, I don't think we touch it. I think we're good. Looks great.
Looks good.
Yeah, I'll get all that changed.
Oh, God.
You can change whatever.
No,
like,
it's just that the can of worms, sometimes you just wonder, is it worth it? But,
what?
Is it free of charge?
it's on there.
I know. I'm saying, like, remember we just talked about it being free of charge, like for who, that was where we,
Attendees?
yeah. I mean, yes.
Why don't you put a blank space underneath that, so if they need to explain further, they can.
Well, it says
Yeah.
no, then.
I know, but what
will
if they
cost-
need more
and-
room?
And
That's
if,
all I'm
we can
saying.
say, and, huh?
I'm just saying if they need more room.
Sure.
So you know what? Maybe it's appropriate to ask the question in this somewhere. How are you generating revenue? How is revenue generated for the
Where do the profits go?
or at least just who is paying you for what?
The
if you're-
basic purpose of the event.
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
Yeah. Are you trying to raise money for your business? Are you just trying to bring in tourism?
Well, no, I mean, like, who are they getting money from? How are they generating revenue? Like,
Well,
we generate revenue through taxes. Audubon generates revenue through selling food. Like, what are they selling to generate revenue? Like the vendor, the Oktoberfest committee gets revenue from the vendors. They get $50 for a booth and 100 for a thing.
So do we want to put that on here?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm wondering if we should.
Well, down here, it's just
Because that will
about
tell us a lot
advertising.
about this.
But here you're asking what other funding is used. So maybe somewhere down there you could add that.
We can add it wherever if you want to, if that's something that we want to ask.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's appropriate? I think it's appropriate because if we're giving them money to, they're every one of these are revenue generating in some way. I'm not saying they're profitable, right? They are far from profitable, but if there is revenue generation that's happening. So I think it's appropriate to know what that is so that we can make sure and tie together that our funds are not going to their generation of revenue. That it's more about the event being free.
So if they come and say,
For the market.
we don't charge for any vendors, we don't charge for anything,
Well,
it's like a red flag.
that would be a big red flag because where would you?
So we're basically just looking for red flags.
I think, well, I think it's just more like for us to make a decision on if it's appropriate to give them funds, what are you advertising for, right? Where are you generating revenue? So if you're generating revenue through bicyclists signing up and your marketing is going to bicyclists signing up, you no longer qualify, right? If your revenue is being generated through booth spots that are being sold, but you're advertising this to people to come to the event, now we know that this does fit what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? So knowing where they're generating revenue is going to help us know that we are making a good decision on.
So it could be a question, are you generating revenue through this event? If so, how?
Yeah, if so, how, yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's
That in there.
really, really well stated.
Yeah, this is irrelevant if they're nonprofit or it doesn't really matter, just revenue generation in general.
Okay, then application for festival franchise license. Oh,
This is the city.
that's a city, okay.
But they have to fill this out if they're applying for this. That's why he got that out.
I don't know.
Okay. What's that?
I don't know. I don't know if we've received one of these lately. Have you seen one of these?
When does someone submit?
It's really if you're gonna be out in the streets, selling alcohol, closing streets.
We did one for Pecanopalooza,
You want one of these?
right, didn't we?
Are we supposed to do one of these for Rural Heritage?
I don't think it's required. I mean, that was out long before this
Right, we
great
just
thing
did
was
it
out.
for
And there's
Pecanopalooza,
different
yeah.
separate purposes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, you should do one for Rural Heritage.
Yeah, we used to fill this out.
You've never done one?
But how does someone know that they have to fill this out?
Yes, that's a great question.
I guess if they want city support.
Yeah, yeah.
Come in here and get a street closure. I guess part of street closure. I don't know. Do we require this form filled out prior to a street closure?
Nope.
Dan would know the answer to that question, but.
So this
No.
one's
If you
like
have to ask
something
to close
broader
the
than
street
what we're
or sell alcohol in the street, you're gonna get that form.
Yeah.
Only if you come in though. If you email it online, they don't give you this.
$50 fee. That's good. Okay.
Well, this is a.
You got a life hack.
I think requiring this probably isn't, I mean, I don't know that it's a bad idea because if you're getting city revenue, then it makes sense that.
It would just be for not everyone though. Like the F-100, they wouldn't need this.
Right.
You could put something on here, however, you could put something on here that says, if you're doing this, or this,
On city property.
you must complete this, and, we can still reference it and ask it. But
Maybe
there's
by
some-
the insurance, that insurance one, like the additional insured, if it's held on the streets or on city property, then they have to fill this out.
You said something about alcohol.
It's alcohol in the streets. Yeah, in the streets. If they're selling alcohol in the street.
Is that like is that the hard line, or is there more than one? What if they're not selling alcohol in the streets, but if they have to close them?
Still, gonna need the insurance.
Well, insurance for sure, but do they have to fill out this franchise, the festival application?
I'm pretty sure, again, I would check with Pam, I apologize, but, if you're in the street, you're gonna need the insurance, probably gonna need to fill out that form. Also, you're gonna request a street closure, so.
Did you notice the question on the back that says, would you be interested in a review of your marketing plan? It's on there.
It's interesting.
Mhm.
Oh, sweet.
No.
I'm gonna put yes.
And I'll see you there.
Yeah, so we
We could
got,
always look at.
So maybe we need to
changing this
put that,
into a vote, too.
yeah, that's why I was like, maybe we need to add more to this then.
Yes.
Like your application is your event held in the
Maybe-
streets of St. Genevieve,
Well-
city property, then yes, then you need
Then,
to.
yeah,
how about this? How about we do an event type? Right? Like maybe we classify event types to say like this, a festival is this, a car show is this, you know,
Oh, Lord, we're gonna get in the weeds with that.
well, I mean, they'd have to be generic, very generic, but festival, you know, we have to define festival somehow in order to use this application. So how would we do that?
Is filling out this application factor into whether they get the grant or not?
It was in one of the requirements.
yeah.
It was one of the requirements for the grant application, yeah.
We're learning all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this was just my question was, this is probably in more of an overarching document. It is not specifically related to
Yeah.
getting advertising grant funds. But it is a tangential item that someone may need to have for something, but you're right, it is not specifically for this.
What if we put a
But
line
it
in
is
there that
required.
says?
It is-
It is a requirement if there is a certain type of festival being held,
Yeah.
so it is tied together.
Oh, so it's not actually a requirement in the application for the for our funding? Okay,
Well,
okay.
It's just a reference document.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Yeah, we haven't made it a requirement.
Okay,
It's just
good.
a reference document
All right,
that
yeah.
they may need.
Well, I changed my opinion, and I think we leave it out. I thought it was a requirement in there. I was thinking that we could change that, but yeah, no, I think that means they would have done it already.
You would hope so.
If they know about it.
If
So what
yeah.
if we have something in there that says applicant is required for verifying if they need these tertiary?
We just have to define festival.
Why don't we put on the application, is your event being held on city property? Yes or no? If it says yes, guess what? They need a form.
Was that a festival though? A reenactment's not a festival. It's on city
But then,
property.
yeah, I think just a line that puts the onus on them. You're responsible for verifying.
If you select.
We're letting you know they exist.
If you
Your job
selected
is
yes,
to-
you need to fill out this form. Is your event being held on the streets? Yes. You
Or
are
the-
responsible to fill out this form.
If you say, when you say reenactment, you mean like the guys marching through the street?
Yes.
But they're not closing the street.
They're marching through the street, I get that, but they're not putting crafters on the street.
Right. But are
You're
they
not
closing?
you're
Are they
not
closing it
the
though?
streets. So I think maybe if
Oh,
we
you don't
just
close the
leave
streets?
it,
No. Oh, Real Heritage we do, but we put crafters on the street.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if we put like those simple questions, is it being held on city property? Are you closing the streets? If you select yes on either one of these, there are C4 and blah, blah, blah. That is required.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that way we make sure they're filling it out and it has the whole insurance.
Because then we can be like, oh, David, they selected yes, did they turn that in? You can be like, no, they did not.
You're out of here.
You always put the box.
Well, you know, oh gosh, it really depends on what the purpose of this form, this is. You know, because Oktoberfest was not on city property at all. We closed no streets.
Then you
So-
don't need to fill it out.
Yeah.
So I'm not a festival. I
You've selected no.
mean, I feel like that's a festival.
But you
It's
don't
still a
have to
festival.
have, you
It's
don't
still a
have to have
festival. You just have to
this
fill that out.
particular thing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, I know that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just saying
another
that's why I'm trying to, I guess I'm trying to find in my head, what is this? What is the goal of this? To make sure the insurance is covered? Because I'm reading these questions and it says, did the health department check your, you know, did the health department check your food trucks? Right? I mean, those kinds of questions, like, they're not gonna ask me because it's on private property.
But.
Right, so it falls under your insurance and your liability.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm
But
totally
you
fine
put
with
it on
that.
the street or
I
you're
love it.
selling alcohol and they.
I love it.
Yeah, then the city needs
I'm
more
com-
information.
I'm happier that way anyways.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I think that's wonderful. So
I think
if they're closing, if it's on city property or streets will be closed.
Yes.
Yeah. There's the additional insurance for the city too. Well, you know what? Since it's in this one, do we need it in ours then?
What?
Because this has, have you provided a certificate of insurance with city listed as an additional insured? So if all of those will already have this anyhow, do we need to put that in ours?
Yes.
What if they're
They
not?
may not have to fill
Yeah, they
this
might
out.
not have to
Yeah,
fill it
if they
out.
don't have to do this, we still need to know.
But don't they only have to do that if they're on city property or if the streets are closed?
They
This,
still would need.
Yeah, the same thing, yeah.
Okay, wait, hold up. What are you asking to remove?
So this, if it's on city property or if the streets are closed, they have to fill this out, and this has the question. Do you have to have, yeah, that you have to have the insurance with the city listed as additional insured? If we put the same thing on ours, it's just redundant, because they would already have had this.
not necessarily, because they don't necessarily have to come and ask for an advertising grant.
Right.
You're saying remove it from ours.
I'm saying remove from ours, yeah.
But someone who doesn't have to fill this out, are they still required to have it or not?
To have insurance?
No, they're not, no.
Not
they're
if they're
not.
not on the city property.
No. It's
Then
the
I-
same
then I would take it.
stipulation. Yeah, I think we could take it out of that.
I don't know what.
I don't know, do we want to
ramifications
give
are,
money to a festival that doesn't have insurance?
Well,
Well, I
that's,
mean, but-
that's the other question is, if we are sponsoring through a marketing grant, we could be named as an additional.
They're required.
Required to have the insurance, but we could be named in a lawsuit because we help sponsor an event.
Right.
So I would think we would need to be labeled.
Even if it's
as
not on city
additional insured,
property?
No matter if it's on city property or not.
Right, but under the old form, if they got TTC funds, they were required to name us as a sponsor.
Name the TTC
Yeah,
As a sponsor.
on the insurance?
no, on their advertisement.
Right.
To name us publicly, which would therefore open us to liability.
Yeah, but we need to be labeled as an additional insured, no matter if it's
No
on
matter
city
what.
property or not.
We don't have that listed in the insurance requirements right now,
Well,
right?
we put $1 million minimum coverage, additional insured if on city property. So we just
We
need
just
to
scratched the
need to
if.
We
remove
need to-
if on city property.
You did.
Yeah.
Put it down. 1 million. Okay, I wrote that down.
You didn't,
But
you
I
put the
didn't
city
write-
property.
I didn't write down, additional insured, who's the additional insured?
St.
City of
Genevieve
City. City of St. Genevieve, okay.
That we can ask about that. Like, just because we gave them a grant for funding.
Yeah,
Does
we
that
could
really,
definitely,
I mean, does that really, I mean, would that?
we could speak to Mark Bishop about that. Huh?
If all we did was give them marketing funds, does that make us somehow liable? I mean, is there?
100%. 100%.
I guess depends on the situation.
Probably need to have some indemnity clause in there too, probably. I'm sure maybe that additional insured has a. But
Okay, we good on this? Can we make another revision?
Did we just make this hard?
Oh, it made it harder for people for sure, but I think we.
Well, I
covered
think
it,
they need
but-
to be accountable.
Yeah, no.
This is, yeah.
I don't think we're making it harder. I think we're just being more clear.
Yeah.
Front about all of the requirements that you have to go through. They're not different really than what.
They're just
They're
put together
just
right.
all together. And we,
Yes.
the
And
only
we're gonna
difference.
start actually using them.
Right, well, and like, we're protecting ourselves from getting into the weeds like we have on many of these where we're like, wait, so what are the rules?
Yeah.
How we know, and I think we've made better rules, I think we've cleared some things up and put some better guardrails in place.
So I have a couple of questions because we've discussed this numerous times, but I don't think it's ever been clarified. And forgive me if I'm overlooking it on what they can advertise as, because we've talked as a committee that they have to advertise at least 50 miles out or bring in people from 50 miles away.
I think that was just Tom Hooper getting that mistaken with what we do with the MMG from the state.
Okay, so we're not,
No,
okay.
I don't think we should.
And then the advertising materials.
So that's a good point. So that, and I don't know if we want it, I have it highlighted and under definitions, if it's good enough to do that under the definitions portion, if we want a specific section, but that might be something we could talk about it next time as well.
Yeah, I think that needs clarified because, I mean, just on the committee alone, the confusion on what's considered advertising materials or marketing
For,
materials.
for
Is that information in the grant agreement or the grant summary that we haven't reviewed tonight?
No. No, it's not. Mm-mm.
Well, it could be included there then, I guess, when we review those two. We're gonna review the agreement and the summary, maybe at the next.
We should.
All right, let's plan to do that, and we can keep moving through
Because
this.
you have a very good point, Wayne.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
needs to be kind of spelled out.
It does need to be
Yeah,
spelled
because
out.
there's definitely it's not black and white. Other mediums approved by what did we approve? Okay.
Yeah, the only thing the agreement says is the following are the only items that may use grant funds for marketing by the Tourism Commission. Tourism-oriented festivals, fairs, special events, and regional sporting activities as approved in attachment A, which any other use of funds is prohibited, so,
Let's review
yeah.
Form 4 and Form 5 at our next meeting.
Yeah.
And Brent, did you have another point too, Whitney, besides that?
No, just those two. If I have another one, I'll probably remember it at midnight when it's no longer relevant.
Good point.
All right, so let's wrap up the application conversation. That was a great conversation.
We'll keep in old business, got the transient tax strategy. I would like to maybe put together a committee on, raising the transient tax in the city and instituting one in the county, and what that looks like. I know I've talked to Trish Ersfeld out of Perry County to just give me some materials on that, but I think, we should probably form a committee on this, and see when we want to put it on the ballot, that sort of thing. So, anybody want to jump on that committee?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'd like, but do we just keep it here at the TTC level, or do you want to have a smaller committee?
I mean, we could, I just figured, I'd like to talk about it now, but maybe we can table it till the next meeting, just because this one's running long, and I know we've got limited brain power after a long day of doing our other jobs. But we could talk about it now. What are we thinking as far as like timeline? So I know to get it on the November ballot, so it will be it's already been approved, but I think our timeline to get it on the November ballot had already passed by the time it was approved, so it was like August 26th. Would have been the timeline to get it on the November ballot, and it was approved and signed August 28th, or became law on that day. So I think April will be the next window, and is that enough time to get out sort of material on it? And what are we? What I'm not clear on is, what can the TTC's role be, and, do we need to be going out to different organizations and finding, some support for this, and who can?
I think we're gonna lean on you on that to kind of do some research and find out what we can and can't do from a TTC standpoint. Can we ask you to do some research on that and find out what our options are?
Yeah,
I mean, April is pretty far off, but it's not either. It'll be.
Yeah, it'll be.
I don't think we want to wait till a primary election or a fall election. So I think April would be. I think we should have enough time to be able to put this together and get it on the city side. I think that won't be easy. Just doing an increase on the city one, then instituting a county one. We don't have Corey here tonight, but to get
Size.
to get an actual plan together. But I think we need to get the county commissioners on board to see if TTC can actually
Be the spearhead of
we
that.
would probably have to have a grassroots committee that's not part of TTC, because I don't think we can actively promote a tax increase from the TTC.
Yeah, sure.
So we might have to have a separate committee, private, grassroots, whatever you want to call that, to be able to have a tourism tax, grassroots committee to get started.
Can TTC members be on that grassroots committee? Okay, but it can't just.
You can spend the
So you
private
can
time.
share out information just like we did for
Yes.
profits. We just cannot advocate.
Right, yeah, right.
So you can share other people's posts, you can't make your own posts.
We can make posts that says, we're putting
This
this
is
on the
what-
ballot, please vote.
Oh, okay.
We can't.
This
You just
is,
can't say yes or no.
But like you can share information of like what this, what exactly it entails, right?
what it would be used for, how much it would be, what,
Yeah.
what entities would be charging it, what individual, so you can put out
Who's
clear.
actually paying it?
Who's
actually paying it?
Is a big one, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But my biggest concern about this is getting an agreement with the county, because the county would collect their own tax and it would go into county funds, and they would then spend that money however they see fit. So I think one of the big things is to see if we could work with the county to get like an intergovernmental agreement to have them hire us as their tourism marketing agent to be able to spend their money for them. Have one source, the TTC, spending both the city collected taxes and the county collected tax, because the county commissioners would sign an agreement with the city of St. Genevieve to be their marketing. Because otherwise, they're going to collect 30 grand, and somebody at the courthouse is going to have to try to figure out how to spend 30 grand on tourism at the county level.
Yeah.
Whatever the number is, 30 grand. And then, so how does that really work for them? Can somebody do that? Yeah, anybody can go over there and put up a billboard and run some advertisements of some sort. And they could, but would it make better sense? And I think we can make that argument really well to the county commissioners, like, hey, let's pool our money together and let's market city and county together as a whole.
Yeah.
But between now and April, we've got to get that done so we have some type of intergovernmental agreement that says they will hire us to be their marketing agent for the taxes they collect at the county level.
So can we like call a meeting with them, or does it have to be like during this normal meeting?
It's a good question. I would think we could go to them and meet with them and have some of the TTC members, you guys go and propose this idea to them. And then they would probably have to have their attorney draft that intergovernmental agreement, and also the language that would say, yes, if this would pass, the county is going to hire the city of St. Genevieve to spend the county tourism tax dollars for this year and, X amount.
Because they would be just like us, they have to use that on tourism. They can't just go use it on roads.
I think the way the state statute reads, yes.
Not saying they would, I'm just,
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, I think the way, and we need to get, that'd be good too, maybe at the next meeting, bring that new statute that the state just passed, so that we could all read it. It's in a couple different sections there, but that would be, I think that would be really smart of us to pool our money together and help the county. I think they don't have anyone over there now currently looking at marketing the county, and they could in theory, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, maybe we should, or maybe they might even request that the city adds 2 more board members from the county.
Yeah.
Some representation from the county too.
Yeah, and we used to have some, and we invite a commissioner, to every meeting, and Corey's been pretty good about coming to most of them, so.
Well, and we used to have Laura Oliver on the board and, so there's
We try to have
traditionally
some
been.
county entities. So,
There's a few people I'm sure out there that would do it, that would be happy to be on it.
Maybe the Chateau St. Genevieve people too.
Yeah.
and we just redid our TTC, so I don't know if we would add them in as like an ad hoc member, like. what's
Yeah,
up for
right.
dinner, if they want to come and
I think they should have voting power.
I do too. If we're spending their money.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
you'd have to be careful with that, because the TTC is set up to spend city money. So you might almost, you better be, we're gonna get down in the weeds and try to figure out how that would work. If they were, on the voting members, the TTC, they have to be a TTC member to vote on the financials, on the money spent by the TTC. And that would be, of course, what they would, if they wanted to add a member or two, how does that change does that still legitimately let our TTC operate within the city statutes that
I mean, we would
spends
still,
that TTC?
if it was 5 and 2, we still have majority. What's that?
Well,
Just make Corey a voting member. There's no.
but I
reason
don't
to add.
know.
I think we
if-
can.
Happy was always very concerned about the way the TTC was set up and how we voted on the money generated on the city bed tax. So we might need to get an opinion on how. it would be, and not that I'm not trying to tell them not to add members, but it would be way easier if they would just hire us as their marketing persons.
Well, and I think we can show a lot of good faith,
Yeah.
like, of how we've been promoting the county. I mean, I don't think there's like, I don't think we've really been leaving them out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but it does just
Right.
leave, I mean, it's kind of like throwing in a bone a little bit. I mean, I think
Yeah,
that
sure.
we would never want there to be a situation where they felt, because when they're looking for it, they'll feel it and they'll find it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if we're all city and, we're making decisions on county.
I mean, I'm kind
I-
of county, so.
I mean, we are county too. I'm county too, but you know what I mean? Like, there are people that are only county and they barely ever come here.
Yes. Yeah.
And they own businesses out there. And then,
So maybe it's like we're
we're like giving them some, some skin in the
like,
game.
we want your opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Like
I would think so.
I feel like we would want that.
I think if we would show them the marketing plan though, and show them how we were going to advertise the county, I think the county commissioners would probably get a pretty good feel that yes, they are doing a good job with the $30,000 that we generated. And they showed us the marketing plan and they,
I don't think the commissioners would be the issue. I think the business owners
Yeah.
and the people that are
Yes.
they're paying that tax.
Because then they'll be like, I'll make my own city.
Yeah.
good.
So we'll see. That's a good. I mean, it's a good conversation. Really good
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And just to add to
That's a
that,
good
I mean, I
point.
do have like people from the county, like Karen Nagger just
Yeah.
reached out to me about something recently to
She's
help
the
her
one that was in
with.
my head the whole time.
So, they do look to our department as like helping that department already. So that's just throwing that
cool.
out there, not to say that they shouldn't have a representative. They should, absolutely. But if there's some sort of qualms.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I don't know how the PTC was even like come about, but like, can that not be like reformatted or something?
You can, of course, you can do it. It's just a committee of the city, but there's rules for spending that state matching grant money and how
Oh.
we spend that.
I see
So
what you're saying.
we get like 25 grand in matching. So we get about $50,000 in tourism money and 25 of that comes from the state. So that money has to be spent very specifically due to the state statute and that TTC has to have specific members. So if you get somebody from outside the city, I don't know how that works. So that's what I don't know about.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So maybe like the core group needs to stay,
But that doesn't really make sense because we have had Laura Oliver.
Yeah, that's true.
On the board and.
But she's a city resident.
Oh,
She's a city resident. She
Yeah.
lived in the city.
and I'm a
So-
county resident, but I have a city business.
Oh,
So we just need clarification
Yeah.
before we
Because
can.
people that aren't here, the mayor appoints the members that sit on this board. So can the mayor appoint a county resident to sit in on a city committee? I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how that works,
yeah, right. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. Lots of questions.
That's what we
And
like.
April will be here fast.
Yes.
Yeah, so get on it, Aaron.
They turn the air off in this
You have to
place.
have the language, I think the language in the statute, but you have to get on the ballot before December 30th.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the deadline.
And we can do a lot of stuff after that, but like he said, we have to get the
language.
the ballot language for us, Sue Wolk, to put it in, to be on the ballot. What was it, December when? 30.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Joe. Having at least an idea of what comes next is important.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much for that.
Maybe they could be appointed through the commissioners.
Yeah,
So that it's not directly.
and maybe just an ad hoc member, and then that wouldn't affect our state grant that we get, because we're the DMO for that grant that we have. So if they would accept that member just to be, and we could have as many ad hoc members as we want, and they can vote on everything except for financial funding, but that's the one thing that they might want to have a say in. So
Yeah.
it's a,
Yeah, it's kind of how the advisory committee came to be back when, what?
we had two different tourism meetings at the same time because
Yeah.
of that state grant. We wanted more representation, but they had to meet those 5
Yeah.
members. They had to meet, restaurant and tourism entity, and they all had to be within a
Right.
certain rate. And so it was really tough. So we actually had one meeting for about a half hour, and then we adjourned, and then we started, and basically the rest of the tourism committee started back up and talked about it. But it was, Dina, you sat through all those. It was a nightmare because you had to have 2 different meetings, and they were back to back, and it made as best sense as you could. But because of that state money, we got that 25 grand, we had to jump through hoops to make sure we still kept that money.
Yeah.
So the next steps on this, for that, is the committee, organizing a committee.
Well, I think the next steps would be, do we want to go to the commissioners and who wants to do that? I think that's probably one of the next steps. And then the next meeting, I'll bring in the statute language so that we can take a look at that. And then, yeah, we can kind of talk about that. Is there anybody that wants to go to it? Like, should I just send that out as an email or something like that? I'll do that as well. So we can pick a time to meet down at the commissioner's office and talk to them about that.
Have you go with you?
Yeah, thank you. Tourism director report.
Bye, Joe. Don't make me
Bye,
laugh.
Yeah.
Don't make me
Do you have a written report? Or?
I don't have a written report with me. I did have one for the alderman last week. Basically just, so I apologize. I can, what's that, Dana? Would you need me to go print it?
Oh, no.
Tourism report?
With Joe.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's the anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly just what I talked about in that tourism director report is, I've just been working on budget strategy, and I feel a lot more comfortable this year after my first fiscal year sitting down with that. So this will be my second full fiscal year. And I just feel a lot more, after seeing how money's spent. What I'm going to try to do with the actual general fund marketing budget is split some of that off and look for another sort of marketing firm to maybe run like a PR campaign for us so we can get more earned media. I think that's something that's been huge, and I realize now after this year, there's a couple of points in time where I hyper focus on something, and then you kind of lose track as a one-man department of the kind of overarching stuff. So I think, kind of breaking off 20,000 of that budget and having it allocated for another sort of avenue of marketing would be great. So that's what I'm going to focus on this year. And I've got a couple of different marketing firms. We're going to probably put out an RFP for that. And I've got a couple of firms I'd like to invite to submit one of those. So, new business, Missouri Main Street Connection. It looks like, I think you guys probably all saw the email from Ben from Missouri Main Street. We've missed the October window to have a meeting, so I think we need to.
I was gonna reply, you can just pick a day and I'll be there.
Okay,
Yeah,
that sounds good. I'm thinking November 10th.
That works.
What that is. Let me just.
Is that a Monday, maybe? Yes, it is,
There we go. Nice one. How'd you know that?
because I don't know why. Honestly, I have no idea. Kids are out of school on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I think November 10th would be good for that town hall meeting. I'll go ahead and.
Steering committee?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to go ahead and send that email out and just nail down that date, and then I can kind of make a flyer for that, and we can push that out. We do need to set up a steering committee. That's part of what needs to happen to set up the 501c3 structure that's going to carry Missouri Main Street here, and then we need to create some bylaws, and they have bylaws already kind of written up. And I'm not sure, David, would we possibly be able to use Mark Bishop in the creating of those bylaws? Like, they have, Missouri Main Street has us.
Missouri Main Street?
Yeah.
Do they have them like basically outlined, like the suggestions?
They have basically the full bylaws that other people have adopted. And, there's just like, you change a few words here and there.
Don't they have like a template?
They do have a
That's what
template.
he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just to, I know Happy in the past for different things, even if it's like a template, I would fill it out and then run it through Mark Bishop just to,
Maybe just review it.
just to review it and make sure.
Real quick, I wanted to double check this TTC. It's a 5-member board. Could it be changed? Yeah, but it could be a city or a county that you have to come from a certain sector of the tourism industry.
Yeah.
You can't just appoint a.
Right, like I'm a restaurant. That's the only reason why I was able to be on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it could be county, they could be a county resident, county business.
You could be a city or county resident,
Yeah.
but everyone has to represent a certain sector of the tourism
Yeah.
industry.
Okay.
Can you tell us what those are?
I can. Once I back up here. Let's see. Hotel motel,
So that would be Brock.
two just say tourism industry,
Okay.
local, and then two are local general business.
Okay. So there wasn't a restaurant stipulation.
All right. I thought that was too.
What was the second one? You said hotel, motel, and what?
So
Local.
one, hotel motel, two, active in tourism industry, so
Should be like the.
Yeah.
subjective statement there, and two more, member of local general business.
So that'd be me and Rebecca. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank
So
you,
the
David.
hotel motel does not have to be in the city, right?
Nobody has to be in the city, but you're expending city funds, that's part of what Alderman.
What I was getting at was, say there's a hotel motel in the county. I don't know if there is.
Does a B&B
Like
count?
an
B&B does
Airbnb,
count.
like could they be on the board then?
I'm pretty sure B&B would count, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about hotel,
You might wanna look
motel,
into
but
that.
they could be one of the other, that's what you're
Yeah,
asking.
yeah,
They could represent tourism industry.
yeah.
I thought Happy once said that the Airbnbs were excluded. You
Yeah,
might,
not hotel. motel.
Okay. So
Not
they could be a
hotel,
general
okay.
business though. Okay.
Laura
Or active even in
she
tourism.
had-
I mean, even-
She had cave.
Yes.
catering.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks.
No,
Thank
no
you for
problem.
that.
Thank you, David, for that. Is there anybody who wants to join that steering committee?
What is the steering committee going to do?
They're going to set up
Like bylaws and stuff?
the bylaws and set up, walk through all the steps to set up a Missouri Main Street 501c3 here in St. Genevieve.
love to join.
Yeah, I could
Rebecca,
be on
how-
that
you
too.
know,
What's that?
just thinking about your paperwork, it was so good, you know?
Right, yeah, she's.
Oh, yeah, you'd be vital.
I'm happy to help with any paper.
How many people do we need to have on that?
It's pretty big, isn't it? I want to say that it was like 11 or something.
Maybe on,
Maybe I'm
not on the steering committee. I think that was kind of just brought up, but
Yeah.
as far as, second.
I'll volunteer my wife. Yeah.
Actually,
Let's go. Oh, here, 7 to 9 people.
7 to 9. Wow.
I was like, you think they would put that on here?
Yeah, right, they do.
Okay, 7 to 9 people. We need some more people.
Yeah, Wendy, Amanda, Brock, you want to be on it?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we should probably have
Sam.
some different names too, you know, somewhere in there, which I guess we have to, but
Sure.
we could probably talk to a few. I mean, I'm sure we could find. And is there any disqualifying or qualifying
Let's see.
things for them?
Preferred
No.
treats.
So you don't have, you could be a high school kid?
Apparently.
Are you discussing tourism related things in this committee?
Mhm.
You can't have a quorum there.
Oh,
Wait, what now?
Uh-oh.
I'm so confused.
you can't have a quorum of a TTC
Oh.
meeting inside of it.
You can talk.
I volunteered first.
Flag. Mark.
Flags and cards.
I don't know.
Yeah. What is it?
You can't have a quorum.
But is it about tourism stuff?
So we,
Joe and.
Making
I-
bylaws?
the board could be on it because we're non-voting
Yeah.
members. We don't constitute the quorum.
Dana, do you want to be on
I don't know, do I?
I think
I'm
you
not
do.
sure. I mean, I've only been advocating for Main Street
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
for
You're,
years.
it? Well, that's what
20.
I just didn't hear any vocal, like, I can't wait to go to another meeting or anything.
He was radiating it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
how many boards are you on? 9?
All right.
What'd you guess?
How many you got?
Good.
I got 5.
Who'd
so
you
far.
scratch off, Brock?
Brock and Roseanne, because
Thank you.
because Whitney
I
and
am
you were
good
the
with
first
that.
two, the first two on there. So
Okay.
I wrote down the first two who said names, and then I got Joe, I got Dina, I got myself.
3, 4, 5.
So that's 5.
I mean,
Let's think about this and maybe,
My wife.
I think
yeah.
you
really
should,
like
you
more.
definitely should ask, like,
People down on Main
Mertz.
Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was gonna say
Yes.
Christine.
Maybe
They've
Lauren,
all-
yeah.
Lauren from
Where are they
Zero,
located?
she,
Oh, yeah, ask Chris Alexander.
Yeah.
I would say.
Lauren's a good one.
Chris or.
Chris Alexander, yeah. And
And Lauren from Cereals would be excellent.
oh, we could ask,
Or,
Emily, my business partner. She'd probably do that.
you know who else is at Stella's?
Yeah.
Jenny's.
No,
I'm with Lynn.
the gal that works there. She's so nice.
Who?
The gal that works at Stella's.
What is her name?
Oh, no,
Shit,
it-
am I blanking on it?
she's watching this going. Me and Brock are like, dang it. I don't know, I'm on the spot. It's really hot here. Why'd you guys turn it off?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Is that you're the admin?
Begins with an A, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Amy.
Oh, yeah, she's so sweet.
She is wonderful. Amy,
Yeah, I was
she would be,
gonna-
she would.
Whenever we could reach out.
Lawrence from European Entitlements.
Oh, yeah.
He might, I don't know if he will.
You think
Oh,
it's
there's a
Sean?
lot
Or
of-
you think
there's a lot
it-
of good.
Sean or Becky to represent the library, because she's
Becky
got, yeah, her background is in nonprofit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Got that.
Because I'm sure Becky would love another task.
No, man, everybody's town, quality.
I'm gonna text her, we'll sign you up or something.
And you ask, just tell them we signed it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
tell
create
Becky I said
bylaws.
she's gonna
That's
do
not, we're not doing that. That's on this committee, right?
That'll be on the committee,
Okay.
yeah.
And then you're setting November 10th for the town hall, right?
Yeah,
Or you're
correct.
gonna confirm it?
I'm gonna confirm it, yeah.
Where is that gonna be held, do you know?
The order.
Maybe the Orange or something?
Yeah, I think that would be a good spot for it.
I think that would be better. Where was it the last time? Do you remember? Where the town hall meeting was the first time?
The
Missouri?
DeBerg Center.
Mm.
Oh, that's right.
That's good.
I like vaguely remember what it looked like, but I don't remember where it was. I was in the back. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so, other business, we don't have any grant applications today, right?
No.
And, next meeting, October 21st, 5:30.
I'll make a
Motion to
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay. All approved? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Yeah, okay.